Oops, that was a bit loud, wasn't it? So, hello, welcome to Sunday School. Today is the 6th Sunday of Easter, so that's gone very quickly, hasn't it? Now, we're going to do lots of things today, and Naughty Clemmy is not having this because she has been eating some of the things that I've made, and that will make sense in a minute. Now, we're going to do our preparation for worship today, but we're going to do it slightly differently because we've had complaints about one of the songs, so we're just going to do one of the songs today. But we're just going to remember, do you know what day it is today? Do you know what we're celebrating today? It's a bit of a clue behind us, if you can see it. Today, it's actually St Anselm's Day. It's our patronal festival, and that means that we celebrate St Anselm, who is our patron saint of our church, and that is who our church is dedicated to. So, should we get ourselves ready for worship?
Let's move this.
Right, so we're going to say, we're not going to do the song, but we're going to say,
in my head and in my heart and all around me, Jesus is here.
Jesus is here, well done. So, put that back on there, in fact, I'll put it there then.
Yeah.
What do we think is going to be in our box this morning? This is just beyond exciting.
Ooh,
Can you hear it? What do you think that sounds like?
I have no clue.
Should we have a look?
Yep.
Oh, this is so exciting, isn't it? Right. Oh, let's drop
It's
the
a
box.
very...
Can you show the children what it
It's
is?
a carrot.
Oh,
it's a very
carrot.
strange carrot though. It's a bit
I
short.
know, it was the best I could do, I'm afraid.
We're including
Right,
it.
so, can you think of what sort of animal might like to eat a carrot?
Guinea pig.
Guinea pigs like carrots. Who else might like a carrot?
Horse.
A horse might like a carrot. Who else might like a carrot?
A rabbit.
Yes, so a little animal. I mean, I was just thinking actually of the Peter Rabbit film, and he so loved rabbits, didn't he, that he would keep getting caught in Mr McGregor's garden, and they get into trouble.
I love Peter Rabbit.
We like Peter Rabbit. No, but can you think of an animal that is a bit like a rabbit, but not quite a rabbit? If I give you a big clue, I don't know whether you can see on the camera, but just behind us, there might be one over there.
That one. It's a
Do you know
hare,
what that is?
isn't it?
It is a hare, well done. They look a bit like rabbits, but actually they are quite different.
They're a bit bigger.
Well, yeah, they are, yeah. So rabbits, the hares are actually considerably bigger, and they've also got quite big pointy ears, haven't they? Can I tell you something really gross that they do? But rabbits do as
I don't know
well.
if I want to know.
So they're not very good at getting all the nutrition from their food, not like us, because we eat lots of fruit and vegetables. So they do something a bit gross, actually. They eat their poo. Do you know that? Because then they can get the
That's
benefit.
disgusting.
Well, you wouldn't say that if you're a hare.
No,
They get
I
the benefit of it twice.
wouldn't.
Anyway, it's a bit yucky, isn't it?
It's disgusting.
So, because it's St Anselm's Day, we're not going to read a gospel reading today, but I'm going to tell you a story about St Anselm. So when Father Angus and Esther were clearing out Centenary Hall over the last couple of days, they found loads of old magazines that look a bit like, I don't know how well you can see that one. This one is actually from 1954, but some of them went back as far as 1914. Absolutely amazing. This is a St Anselm's magazine. In there is a story here of St Anselm and the hare, but it's written in quite sort of fancy old-fashioned language, so I've transcribed it a little bit. So, in 1097, and that is nearly 1,000 years ago, can you imagine that? Anselm, who was Archbishop of Canterbury at the time, had an argument with the king, who was called William Rufus, and headed back home with lots of attendants, and his friend Edmund, who was a well-known writer at the time. So the roads then weren't busy like you can hear they are now outside here. So they came across lots of wildlife on their way home, and some of the dogs that they were travelling with started to chase a hare and absolutely terrified the poor animal. So all the attendants and the children, which I think is a bit mean, they laughed at the animal and they thought it was really funny that the dogs were chasing it. But the hare, in its fright, ran between the legs of St Anselm's horse and hid under the horse's belly. Instead of laughing, Anselm cried and ordered all the others to pull the dogs away and to stop tormenting the hare. He said, "You laugh, do you? There is no laughing, No merrymaking for this unhappy beast. His enemies stand about him, and in fear of his life he flees to us, asking for help. So it is with the soul of man. He is telling us that we all need to seek heavenly aid, and we should actively seek to help each other, which is quite useful if you think about it, to remember that at this time when we're all feeling a little bit isolated. So we're going to do our own little bit of St Anselm celebrating. Now, we had made some biscuits earlier on, didn't we, Clemmy? We made some biscuits earlier on, which we're very lucky, I've lost it, we have a sort of rabbity, you could think it was a hair cookie cutter. So we made some and they looked a bit like this. One of them though, sadly, can't hear very well. It looks like that because somebody munched its ear off.
It was really tasty.
Well, that's good. So we're going to decorate these, but we're also going to tell you how you make them. I mean, we're going to have a go at making them now. So, do you want to think about decorating the rabbits?
Yes,
okay.
I
Now
do.
we've got some icing here that we made just with icing sugar and little bit of lemon juice or water. You can use writing pens, and we've got all manner of kind of little things to stick on. If you don't have any of this, or you don't have a cookie cutter, take a piece of paper and draw the shape of the rabbit and then cut it out and use that as a template. If you don't have the ingredients to make a biscuit, doesn't matter, we can make a rabbity sandwich, and we would love to see those photos, wouldn't we?
And you can eat them afterwards.
You can eat them. Incidentally, last week we were just gobsmacked by your superheroes.
Yeah,
I just
they
thought
were so cool.
they were just amazingly cool.
And very creative.
Very, very creative. So, we're going to make some biscuits. Well, I'll make some biscuits while you're decorating your rabbit.
Excuse me, were you judging the rabbit?
Kind of. Right, so we need a bowl and a spoon. And we just need 3 ingredients because this is a very simple shortbread. So, here we need, keep removing it, we need to remember the numbers 2, 4 and 6 because you need 2 ounces of sugar, 4 ounces of butter and 6 ounces of plain flour. Now I didn't measure these out, so I'm going to do it on camera, which may take me a second, so just be patient. So we need 2 ounces of sugar. Can you tell me when we get to 2 ounces?
Oh yeah.
I can't see very well. There we go. Aren't we there?
No. There you go.
Yay! So we've got 2 ounces of sugar, which is not that much actually.
2, 4, 6.
Well, exactly. So we want 2 ounces of sugar, and then we wanted 4 ounces of something else. What else do we want?
Butter.
Can you remember? How many ounces of butter?
4.
Can you remember 2, 4, 6? So we want 4 ounces of butter. I've got margarine, but I don't think it really matters, does it?
No, it's for baking.
It is. Maybe not so much for biscuits, I don't know. Right, so 4 ounces of butter. Here we go. And then what was the last one? Can you remember?
8.
Can't see me down there, can you? It wasn't 8. 2, 4,
Oh, 6.
2, 4
Sorry.
and 6. Right, here we go. 6. Where are we? That's just over 6. Never mind. So this is going to go, I'm going to sit back down again so you can see me. So we're going to put those all in together. It's really not a very fancy recipe, this one, is it?
But it's still
So
delicious.
we're going to mix that all together, and I'm going to do this on my own time, I think, because it's going to take me too long to do it in here. So can you see? They're just all in the bowl, and I've got a wooden spoon, and I'm just going to mush them. And then when they've all come together as a dough, I have just, there we go, have a rolling pin and a little board. And I'm going to roll them out. Can't do this, Lily, can I? Take my cutter and go in the dough, and then we put them in the oven. Oh, that started to look very nice. Put them in the oven for about 15 minutes, and hopefully you will end up with a rather delicious biscuit like this. And while I'm doing this, Clemmy is putting some rather beautiful finishing touches to
Why,
her
thank you.
rabbit. I think maybe she does deserve this now.
Aw, thank you.
There we go.
I feel loved.
There. That was rather lovely. This is very exciting, isn't it?
Suddenly looks
Nearly
oh,
finished. Ooh,
it's a bit scary now.
rather beautiful eyes.
Oh no, it's a bit scary.
Oh.
It's got eyeliner.
So this is this is Clemmy's rabbit hair.
It's gone a bit scary. It's a bit freaky.
You'll like it when you see it. It tastes very good. Right,
Uh-oh.
here we go.
Might
Can we
slip.
show it? Do you want to show it up to the camera?
The icing might slip though. Uh-oh.
Oh, look at
Oh
that.
no, it's slipping! Oh no!
What does help? Oh,
Ah.
it's had a bit of a traumatic incident, but it does help if you let the icing dry a little bit.
Yeah. And
It's
if you
right.
have stuff to wash
I'm
up
sure
with.
we'll manage to clean you up. So show us your pictures. We'd love to see either a biscuit that's shaped a bit like a hair, because we're going to remember St Anselm's hair, or if you want to make a sandwich, do that instead. But either way, send us a picture. Now, on to urgent business. We have 3 birthdays that I know of anyway this week. And also, I just wanted to get you to speak to your mums and dads about maybe having a stall outside your house or your flat next Sunday, so the 24th in the afternoon. We're going to try and raise a bit of money for Christian Aid. So if you have a sort out of old toys and games and things like that you don't want anymore, we can put a stall in front of your house. We're going to put together a map of where all these stalls are, and then people will know where to walk and where to come and have a look and perhaps buy some bits. So that's one thing. Next thing, we've got 3 birthdays. Do you know any of these people's birthdays? Can we think of anybody who's got a birthday quite soon?
You?
No.
No.
Right, so there are 3 people. So we're going to say happy birthday to Jean, who's going to be 13 next Sunday. We're going to say happy birthday to Sylvie, who is going to be 8 tomorrow, I think. And we're going to say happy birthday to your brother, who's going to be 14 on Wednesday. So happy birthday, Sylvie, Jean and
What's his
Rufus.
name again?
No, the boy who keeps hanging around. So can we sing? Do we sing? We'll go. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Sylvie and Jean and Rufus. Happy birthday to you.
Woo!
Woo! Right, well, happy St Anselm's hair biscuit or sandwich making. Show us the results and we will see you next week. Bye-bye.